Okay guys, well, welcome back. And well, a not so fun project. So canopy frame, I didn't put you through the torture of getting it moved from its location up here in the shady spot so that I can work on getting it. It's got multiple broken arms. Left it out. It's one of the Ozark Trail easy pop-up 10 by 10s with a straight leg. We've had 3 of them and they've all broken and collapsed. And if you see, like, things should be connected and they went Wi-Fi mode. So these are just real chintzy aluminum, and then these are plastic pieces, but it all takes that tension to work together. So it's a bit of a nightmare trying to move this thing around. But there's at least 1 there. There's 2, looks like 3, 4. I don't know, I've potentially got 4 arms. So what I'm gonna do is round up a couple tools and I'll show you what I used. And my other frame, actually I'm gonna get both other frames. I'm gonna try to fix this one first. The canvas is fine, it didn't rip. One of the canvases, which is off the donor frame, that one got ripped. So I just turned the frame into a donor. But then the other frame, same deal. Canvas is good, but the frame is all right. I think there's only a couple on there, so I'm hoping my donor frame has enough of the right pieces that it'll come apart. So let me get some tools, let me get the other frame set up, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so really important tools. Phillips head screwdriver, a set of pliers, and then an Allen key set. This is one of the Allen key sets from our e-bikes, so I don't know what size they are. I just know that one of them fits in there and it works really well. And instead of trying to find the right wrench, a pair of pliers works. One thing to note, so when you look at the frame, you have your corner post. There's 3 sections to this. There's 3 different arms. You have the ones that go from the corner to connect to the centers. You have ones in the center, and then vice versa. There's another corner set. These corner sets, from what I've noticed so far, these corner sets are different than the center sections. You would think they were all the same, but I tried to cross them last time and it didn't work right. So it's just easiest to find the broken one on the old one, pull that exact same one off to put it on the new one. So they've got Phillips head up here, which these ones have an inset nut already, so all you need is a screwdriver. Some of the center ones, you have the Allen key with a lock bolt on it, so you need Allen wrench and a pair of pliers. So we're gonna start with this section and try to get that off. I'm gonna leave the top in first. Let me set you guys up so you can see a little better. Okay, they're not really tight. This thing's just a little twisted. So, but I try to keep them together. Now we'll have some hardware, but knowing that this stuff is cheap plastic and these are cheap aluminum, I'm trying to keep as many of them as I can. So we got the bottom pivot point done, and now we're gonna do the same thing up here. That one's got a recessed nut. The key to this though, guys, is when you go to put these back together, is do not over tighten these joints. 1, you'll break stuff, and 2, they're not gonna pivot the way you want, and when you go to set it up later, you're gonna be upset. Okay. So as to not lose anything, I'm just gonna run this in a couple threads. All right, and now the upper joint up here, like I said, has got a preset nut cast in it, so you just need a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, so that piece is off. And we'll just take you over and we'll get the bad one off and put the good one on. I like to just reverse the process. Like I said, don't over tighten. Make it where you got some free play because you want this thing to be able to still move. And just pay attention to how they came apart. Because you want them to go back together. And I just 1 for 1 on them. Take one arm at a time off one, put it on the other. That way I don't end up with a whole pile of parts and not know, because I did look online and you can order these if you don't have a donor frame. You can go to the Ozark Trail website and I think they've got them there and on Amazon and stuff like that. I just happened that we had one that had broken too many different spots and the canvas was all ripped, so it wasn't worth trying to order parts for. And I don't think the parts were overly expensive, but you don't pay a lot for these canvases, so. And with these, I'll get you in and show you if that'll focus. If you see right here, just make sure that there's either a little bit or it's at least flush. You want it to hit that lock part, the lock nut part. That way it can't just back off. I noticed some of the factory screws are not quite that tight, but I noticed when I fixed it the last time that made a difference. So, all right, let's get to the next one. The next side looks like, oh yeah. Dang, almost this whole section. I think the only part that's good is the center X. Looks like that's still a good one. Somehow flipped it in my hand, it wasn't looking right. Okay. That piece is off. Try that for a moment. Turns into quite the puzzle of what fits where. Oh, this one does say it's a 4mm Allen key. All of the arms are replaced, and quick reminder, I was talking to you earlier about you've got to use the same from this one to the old one, right? It has to be the same, and I just gave myself a reminder why, but I didn't realize the camera died. See the hole alignment, these at the end are the only ones that'll fit up here. So if you try to grab just any bar and those holes aren't lined up, see how far off they are? It no worky. So let's stretch this out and get it up a little bit and make sure that everything's good, and then we can put the canvas back on, and well, hopefully if we did everything right, this will work. Okay, I like to snug them up a little bit because I think part of those are part of why So now this is where we get the canvas on, because that's actually going to help. It holds the corners in. So let's grab the cam. And then of course, don't forget to enjoy the shade. But you've got to get all the... Stand up straight, use your posture. Gotta get all the Velcros. Okay. So, just like that, guys. Like I said, it's the Ozark trails. But it's got the nice center pop-up that pop her down, doing what you need to, pop it back up, pull those sides down. These things, they're not built to really do the things that I keep trying to make them do. I know the ones like these ones don't have the, let me show you. So these ones, if you haven't dealt with them before, there's no lock here. A lot of these shelters, you have a little button or whatever that you have to push, kind of like that button down there, up here. And I think those style work great if you're gonna leave them in the rain. But as you can see with these, you know, they move. What's holding it together really is the pressure of this canvas. So if you make sure that your corners are good, and they're velcroed in here, and only put it up on sunny days, but it gives you really good shelter. And this is only one notch up, so I mean these things go pretty high. But yeah, and then you end up with a piece of parts there. There's a bunch of garbage. I'm gonna take some pieces off because like that's a good bar, but that one's bent, but the hardware's good. The other one, and then of course there's that. So I'm gonna look at getting this one down, put away in the bag, and dragging the next one out. I don't remember how many arms are broke on that one. Hopefully I got enough left in that thing to patch one more awning. I think if I do this next one, that might be it. Luckily, none of these have broken, none of the legs have broken. It's only been these cross members, because what'll happen is with these things being loose, the rain, if it comes down hard and heavy, it pulls in like this, and it creates so much pressure that these things, they're about 3 layers of aluminum foil, guys. But you get what you pay for. So they're really inexpensive, and at first I was like, yeah, whatever, we'll just go buy a new one. Well, I did that. Well, this is the 3rd one, and then they start getting pricey. So all right, guys, well, let me see what I can do about getting this other one put together. And just like that, all packed up, ready to use on another sunny day. If you're right there watching them in the rain, it's fine, but I don't suggest leaving it up overnight. So, all right, well, I'm just gonna wash, rinse, repeat, yo. And you've seen it done once, I'm not showing you again. But they can be repairable. Simple tools, just a little bit of paying attention. Another hint for it is all of the screw heads all face outward. So all of any of the nut pieces, if you get confused and somehow you got it fully disassembled and don't have another one to look at, all the nuts go towards the inside. The screw bolt heads are facing outwards. So that is one that I learned last time I did this. So there you go, guys. No, we don't do a lot of the how-tos on here, but we're homesteaders and we use a lot of pop-up awnings at different things. And even if you're not a homesteader, pop-up awnings are going everywhere. Car shows, parks, that kind of stuff. So don't be like me and buy multiples because you keep breaking them. Just get some parts, finally take one of those you broke and make it a salvage piece and fix it. It only takes a few tools, and even I could do it. So any of you can do it. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.